Hello, music enthusiasts, music listeners, and people that own Focusrite Scarlets. There is currently a train blowing its horn as loud as it can somewhere in the distance, so I'm sorry if you hear that. We're back with another week of talking about songs that have released in the past week and kind of going over ones that I picked that I thought were interesting enough to discuss and talk about. And at the end, comment, whether or not you listened to these songs, whether or not you enjoyed or hated them. And let's just get into it. So coming up first, we have blackwinterwells with a new track, terran, one of the two, with Stella the Pixie as the feature. You kind of have a triple threat production team on this with Taylor Morgan, Shinigami, and Vague002, and they provide some really reserved and spacey production that I think benefits the track really well, especially blackwinterwells' super tight and fast-paced flow. And then so you have this very abruptly delivered chorus that it almost feels like it's falling over itself. So it really latches onto and keeps your attention. And then halfway through, you have these really, really smooth and catchy vocal melodies. Stella's feature here is really well done, and I think it's incredibly complimentary to the track. Overall, I like it a lot, and I think this is a really great entry from blackwinterwells. And then up next, we have heylog with Gnaw. I think you have some really nicely layered vocals here over some pretty punchy 808s, and Neverfall comes in with a guitar, and it kind of sits in the background a bit, and when the production and vocal layering comes in, it kind of does get drowned out a bit, but even in those situations, it fills the space quite nicely. So not a lot is lost. Great lyrical content, very heartbreaking and weary, but provides energy when it needs to keep it compelling and engaging throughout with energetic highs and lows. And then up next, we have bugboi with Siren Lover. Super ambient and atmospheric production is great on this, and bugboi has these very hypnotic and wavy vocals that have this rapid panning that's very trance-like in a way. It kind of feels like it's going around your head. The delay on the vocals really keep that sort of trance-like and hypnotic sound to the vocals. The song is short and effective, super trippy with a really cool and interesting vocal mix. And then up next, we have an entry from Dex with Bird's Eye. Some twinkly and bright bells kind of act as the driving force of the melodies and the production, but the trap percussion kind of grounds it a bit and keeps it consistent with like an alternative emo sound. And Dex's vocals on this are incredibly consistent, and the I've been up all night chorus has the simplicity and straightforwardness of a pop track, and it brings a really nice energy to a rather melancholy song. It has a super clean mix. And you have these ethereal background vocals sort of gliding in the background over the course of the track, and they're almost not there, but they sit so perfectly in like the environment of the track that they propel the song forward more than you know. It's kind of like one of those things that you don't immediately recognize, but it makes the sound on first listen so appealing. So yeah, great entry from Dex. I really enjoyed this song a lot. And then we have NOMAD from Kazi, with some really interesting production that I like a lot. It's got a good vocal mix with these spacey and slow synths backing Kevin's sort of R&B esque like mid-paced delivery. I don't know how I feel about the length of the song, but the vocals are engaging enough to prevent it from feeling boring at any time. It keeps a steady pace. It stays consistent. I just maybe at some points it kind of feels like a different element could be brought in to keep it a little more engaging. But by no means a bad song, or by no means a super heavy detriment to it. I think it's really smooth, and I think it's really solid. And then up next, we have the first single from Swaine's upcoming album, Where's the Music? This is a Swaine and Godlow produced track, and having both of them on the production for this song gives it a very cohesive and well-structured sound. I love the drums on this. I really do. And this sort of sound effects mixed in with the production make it really fun and interesting to listen to. And then, of course, Swaine comes in with this very aggressive flow, sort of stepping away from his usual tight and steady delivery, and it brings a lot of angry energy to the track, but the anger doesn't feel feel unjustified or pretentious or cringy. It's very authentic and genuine, and that's what I love so much about this song, because Swaine manages to give this very intense and aggressive delivery while maintaining steadiness and consistency in his flow. I really enjoy the sort of cheeky vocal inflections that are scattered throughout. It makes the song very conversational between the sort of ranting verses in a way, and it sets a very good precedent for the upcoming album. This song makes me super excited to hear what Swaine and Godlow have in store for the album, which drops very soon. So we'll be able to see the results of that very soon. And then up next, we have Shinigami with Scary Data and Nice Blunts. Shinigami sort of returns to his roots on this Skrillex-inspired track, not only in the title being an homage to a Skrillex song, but also the production and the overall sound of it. This is a dubstep song, and it really shows that Shinigami knows his way around the genre. And we get about a minute of energy and chaotic melodies and production before the drop hits. And it's super fun, it's punchy as hell, and Shinigami does a great job at filling out the space and giving that dubstep energy without having it feel overwhelming for the sake of being so, or kind of like muddy and lost. Shinigami maintains great consistency in the sound, and despite everything going on, it remains very clear. And around halfway through, the energy kind of dies down to showcase the synthetic and lo-fi piano chords, but very briefly does it do this because it wastes no time to reach the big drop of the track. And you know, I can't say that I'm really a huge fan of dubstep. Not that I dislike it, I just never really got into it too much. But Shinigami definitely argues a compelling case for the genre in this song. I really love the percussion and the sound effects in this song, and even not being super familiar with the genre, I can recognize the quality of it. And then we have Stay a Little Longer from Young Van. We're getting an alt-rock track from Young Van, opening with this super smooth bass line that very quickly rolls into a bouncy drum pattern that is supported by distorted guitar riffs. And Young Van definitely proves his capacity to make a compelling and impressive and catchy alt-rock track. The chorus really brings in an energy that I love hearing from Young Van. And the verses, while they maintain the smooth technical precision that I hear in a lot of his notes, they really do kind of showcase a bit of a deviation away from Young Van's typical sound, and I really like that a lot. And the verses do provide good lyrical content, but this feels like one of those songs where the chorus immediately sticks with you. It's very engaging. It's ridiculously catchy. Like I'm genuinely really happy to hear this from Young Van. And I would like to hear him explore this sound a bit more. It's not the first time he's done it, but it does feel like a very genuine and well thought out attempt at the sound that has succeeded. And then we have P33, P33 with Silhouette, a Rogo-produced alternative emo track, and P's mid-range cadence paired with the vocal layering that he typically applies and uses in his songs makes this sound, it's very haunting, very sad, but it's very haunting and almost distant in a way, the way he mixes and delivers his vocals, which is a very good thing, by the way. I think it makes for a great atmosphere, and every time I hear a song from P, it leaves me wanting, and this is not a diss on Rogo's production here, because Rogo did a fantastic job, but it leaves me wanting to hear a song from P that has full band live instruments. I think that his vocals would really shine on that kind of production and setting, and I would really like to hear that from P for sure. And then we have Earth to Athena with Popularity. This appears to be, as far as I'm aware, this appears to be Earth to Athena's first song, at least on SoundCloud. I didn't do too much digging, so I don't know if there's any, hidden gems or leaks out there that I should be looking for. But I do love the bouncy and bouncy and grungy guitars from Wet Gropes here. Wet Gropes is a producer that I've followed for a while. I'm familiar with their work. And this song is really appealing to me because underneath the sort of semi-flat mix and mic pops that are kind of scattered throughout, there really is a smooth and clean rock track that shows a ridiculous amount of potential, and that's by no means knocking the song. It's a really good song already, but I do feel like this is a great start, and I think that it could lead to a lot of really great things once some things are cleaned up. I think that Earth to Athena has a solid grasp not only on vocal delivery but on writing as well. The writing on this is super compelling, and it feels very original. So this made me excited to see what's next for Earth to Athena. And then finally, to end things off, we have, I actually don't know if I know how to pronounce this. That's two weeks in a row where I'm unsure about pronunciation. I'm gonna go with Blospar. I'm hoping one of those is correct. We have Blospar with I Don't Give a Fuck. IDGAF. He doesn't give a fuck on this song. Blospar provides some processed and punchy vocals over some plucky melodies that are then backed by the super ghostly and droning synth. It's an angry and a cocky track, showing Blospar's confidence, but also doesn't withhold from delivering some pretty vulnerable bars. I mean, there's literally a bar on the track that is, "My music sucks and sounds like shit, but I ain't care." And I don't think the music sucks or sounds like shit, but I do respect the sort of mentality there where it's like, I don't care how technically proficient you may think that I am. I'm fucking killing this shit. And it reminds me of an older era of SoundCloud in a very good way. I do like the vocal mixing on this. It's nothing crazy new. It's nothing revolutionary. But it's employed very well. It's employed in a very classic way, dare I say. Well, I think that ends the weekly tracks list that I have built up. As you can see, I'm holding my mic because if you weren't aware, during most of the video, you'll probably see my mic doing this thing, lower and down a bit, and then when I lean it, you can see the tape and the rubber band that is holding this thing up. I really need a new mic stand. The microphone doesn't even fit into the grip. I have to balance it. Like it won't fit properly. So I kind of just have to balance it. It's loose, it's jiggly. But enough about me. Thank you guys for watching. And let me know if you've listened to any of these tracks. And if you haven't listened to them, go give them a listen. I think they're all worth a listen or two. I like all of them. I don't think any are bad or really stand out as particularly less than in quality than the other songs. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. And I will see you next week when we talk about all of the songs that come out from now to then. Bye.